Hello. These are my notes, so I'm going to read this way. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is LJ. I am the brand marketing manager and marketing analyst at Tahoe Wallet, formerly known as Tally Ho.
And my name is Alex. I am the tech lead at Tahoe.
All right. We're going to start with a quick survey because I love audience participation and not talking. Why did you get into Web3? Oh, no, I broke it. All right. Who got into it because of A, to get rich? I'm going to raise my hand because I love getting paid, and it's totally fine. I support you. Cool. Okay. How many of you got into it for B because you believe in Web3's core values? You can raise your hand for both. It's all valid. Cool. All right. So for all of those who said B, how many of you think the wallet you use is aligned with your Web3 values? It's an awkward question, right? It's an awkward question. All right. I'm going to lay some hard truth on you. All of you who stand by Web3 values like open access, transparency, and self-sovereignty, you're under the oppressive rule of your wallet. They are using you, they are using up your resources, and they are locking you outside the palace walls. It's time to revolt. Okay, I could kick off this presentation by talking about the technical why of these wallet wars, but instead, I'm going to talk about values. Because one of the reasons we're in this war in the first place is that we have all become so concerned with our tech stack that we've lost sight of our value stack. Okay, so what's a value stack? Our value stack is exactly what it sounds like. They are the pillars upon which we are building our project, our company, whatever you're building, that's your value stack. Same as your tech stack, but it's what you believe in. So this is Tahoe's value stack. We're a Web3 wallet. We stand for access for everyone, radical transparency, and most importantly, full community ownership. So earlier this year, we began our own revolt when we wrote down our value stack in what we call our Defend Web3 Pledge, and we called for anyone who aligned with those values to sign the pledge with us. And what's pretty cool is that over 300,000 people have signed so far. So if you did already, thank you, and if you didn't, look it up. So we created this pledge to defend Web3 for a pretty simple and straightforward reason. We were disturbed. We were disturbed by what we were seeing in Web3. We were disturbed by the wallets that we saw in Web3, and that's why we're here. Your wallet is the most ubiquitous and critical tool in your Web3 toolbox. Can anybody name a single thing you can do in Web3 without connecting your wallet? I'm not even going to wait that long because you can't name anything. So you want to swap? You have to connect your wallet. You want to bridge your ETH to an L2? You have to connect your wallet. If you want to use literally any dApp, guess what? You have to connect your wallet. But even though the wallet we use is so crucial, we often overlook the fact that the most widely used wallet in the ecosystem has abandoned or actively worked against Web3 values. Yeah, this is why they put us after that last presentation. So the decentralized web was supposed to bring down Web 2 in this blaze of blockchain glory, but here we are again. We are back under the thumb of a few, or just one really, insidious and secretive monopoly they're no different than the monopolies of yesteryear. If you don't remember the browser wars of Web 2.0, you absolutely have to study up and learn how we are repeating history with our Web3 wallets. Microsoft's closed source Internet Explorer managed to entirely eat up its major open source competitor Netscape simply by packaging itself with the Windows OS and without permission integrating itself into your computer. Now, if you were like me, you're 12, you get this great computer, you open up your browser and you're like, what is this thing? Why does the UI suck? Do I even want to use the internet? This is bumming me out. All of a sudden, everything was like optimized for Internet Explorer. The good news is, ultimately, Netscape gave way to the Mozilla project. A community of developers used that open source code to build Firefox, and hooray, the browser monopoly was mostly toppled. Okay. Does any of this sound familiar? How about I put it this way? Today, the most ubiquitous Web3 wallet has over 30 million monthly users, is closed source, and it's in bed with Wall Street. That sucks. The moral of the story here is that we shouldn't let sneaky, vulpine, look that word up, corporations make our choices for us. We shouldn't follow the path of least resistance. We shouldn't put our portal to Web3 in the hands of the Web3 version of Internet Explorer. Now I'm going to hand it back to Alex.
Thanks, LJ. So let's talk about some of the threats that we all face as wallet users, really no matter what wallets we use. I think security is the obvious one here. There's a constant battle between wallet providers and hackers to keep user private keys secure. Sometimes the wallet providers are winning, sometimes the hackers are winning. Sometimes the hackers are winning, but it's a battle that's probably going to last until the end of time. The most recent big wallet security issue is probably the Halborn demonic exploit, which, if you're unfamiliar with, affected users of MetaMask, Phantom, Brave, and a whole bunch of other really popular wallets. The TLDR on that is that seed phrases were being imported into these wallets in a way that allowed them to later be exfiltrated. So basically the nightmare scenario for anyone trying to protect their seed phrase. Now, the good news is this was detected in 2022 and fixed, but it was around for years and potentially affected millions of users. Fraud is another big one that I'm sure we're all familiar with, especially if you're into NFTs. This can range from fraudulent sites posing as legitimate sites, trying to get you to click on things, pop-ups posing as your wallet, asking you to enter your password or reconfirm your seed phrase, and even fraudulent tokens posing as legitimate tokens, trying to get you to transact via them. The important takeaway here is that while these problems do affect all wallets, there are plenty of things we can do to improve upon them. These range from focusing more on security, having a better UI or UX in the wallet, and just adopting a user-first mindset in general. Now I want to talk about a different class of threats that we face as users of wallets, and I would categorize these as Web3 wallets acting like Web2 monopolies. These threats are not common across all wallets, and the fact that they exist is entirely at the discretion of the wallet provider of the wallet that you choose to use. I think probably the most painful threat is price gouging. So, for example, did you know that the largest wallet provider made close to $200 million off of its users in 2022? A lot of this revenue came from in-wallet swaps and charging a fee on top of those in-wallet swaps. In fact, some of the largest wallet providers charge almost 1% to swap inside the wallet, when most of the time, all that's happening is they're routing an order to Uniswap, which is something that a user can just go do themselves and save a 1% fee. This is also true for in-wallet staking or really anything DeFi that you can do inside of the wallet. Now, obviously, wallets do need to make revenue to survive, but charging these exorbitant fees is damaging to the community, to the ecosystem, and to us. So platform risk is something that I think that we as a community probably don't talk about enough. And the way we define that in a wallet is a wallet relying on a centralized or non-swappable service to provide a fully working experience. The classic example of that is wallets that rely on a single set of RPC providers. If those RPC providers go down, you lose the ability to transact with a blockchain. You might even lose the ability to look at your funds. Apple Store, Chrome Store, Google Play Store, these are also centralized platforms that we all rely on to download and use our wallets. And if a wallet gets delisted from one of these venues and they're not available anywhere else, then we lose access to our funds. Now, of course, we should all be good citizens of Web3, back up our seed phrases, export them, but we know that not everybody does that. All right, so let's talk about surveillance. I think this is probably the most ubiquitous threat facing us today. Should a wallet choose to, it's actually very trivial for them to tie your IP address to your on-chain address. And then all of your anonymous transactions are no longer anonymous to anybody that wants to pay to get that information. Wallets could go even a step further and ask for access to your cookies, and then they could find out just about everything about you that advertisers know, which is just about everything about you. So this even goes a step further, because even if the wallet itself is trustworthy, if the RPC providers that they're interacting with are not, they could be malicious and also link your IP address and your on-chain address, having you lose your anonymity. RPC providers could censor you, feed you incorrect or malicious data about what you're querying, and do a whole bunch of things that honestly will make your Web3 experience terrible. Some examples of this are not letting you submit a transaction to a given address or interact with a given contract, delaying submitting your transaction to the mempool to extract MEV from it, or giving you fake coin balances to encourage you to interact with some malicious contracts that the malicious RPC provider has set up. The good news is it's not all a pit of despair, and these are the problems that we as wallet devs are working on and we think are worth solving.
Sweet. Okay. Reading my notes. Hopefully we have some Dune fans out there so you can follow the metaphor with me. I'm going to repeat myself. Wallets are your portals to Web3. They should be delightful rabbit holes that you fall down and have fun in, not giant sandworms lurking beneath the surface of a desert planet ready to devour you. Like Alex said, we know that some threats are technical or related to human error, and there are decent solutions to those, like crowdsourcing, responsible disclosure, or even token lists. But a lot more threats are just caused by Web2 influenced wallet operators with pretty bad values who always choose to serve their own interests at your expense. These threats are harder to fight because your wallet doesn't want you to fight them. They don't want you to find a way for them to stop mining your data or gouging you with transaction fees. And again, I know this sounds pretty grim, but let's go back to Tahoe's value stack for a second and see what we find. Woo! Yay, community. Community is the cornerstone of what we do. Everything we do is based around community. And we believe, as corny as it might sound, that this is what can save us. We're not the only ones who think so either, right? So a community-owned Web3 wallet opens up some pretty creative and cool ways to avoid the giant sandworms. Being open source helps keep things secure. A community treasury can make sure that funds go back to improving the wallet. And most importantly, it creates a shared interest between wallet operators and users. So rather than sitting in this parasitic, shy-halud Fremen relationship, both the community and operator are owners and united by a common interest. And then suddenly, the need for operators to rely on surveillance or gouging or other insidious tactics is made obsolete. Awesome. Okay, so what Alex and I and everyone at Tahoe is doing is actively solving or trying to solve some of the toughest questions around these issues. More importantly, we are nourishing our community because we love them so much. And together, we are cultivating a Web3 world free of fear, because fear is the mind killer. Thank you. If you want to hear more about what we're doing, come chat with us now. Hit us up on Discord. Look at our Eat Denver bounties. We want to hear from you. Thank you. Do we have time for questions?
I think we have time
wow, we were fast.
You guys were. I think we have time for exactly one question, and it's yours. Oh, gotcha. Here, we got a question right here.
Can you show the social links?
Social links? We don't have social links on our slides, do we?
I don't think we have social links on our slides.
Wow,
LJ.
what a failure.
Oh my goodness.
You can find us on Twitter at Tahoe_XYZ, on Discord as Tahoe. What else do we have?
And our website is tahoe.xyz.
That's right. That's
Nice.
what we have.
While we're getting everyone, what question do you wish someone would ask you?
I don't know. This is hard for me.
Well, totally fair. Oh, hey, we got one right here. Let's do this.
You mentioned the wallet was open sourced. Am I able to just fork it? Can I go to GitHub and just access everything?
You better believe you can.
I smell a plant. But yes, that's amazing. Fantastic. What's the GitHub, actually?
I think it's github.com/Tahoe Wallet right
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
that's right.
and we are fully open source, GPL v3 license, and we encourage anyone and everyone to fork us and make it better. And if you can, like, blow the current wallet out of the water, make your own, and make it for the community.
And definitely check out the bounties. We want to see a lot of cool stuff from the community. Obviously, we love our community.
It's amazing. And make pull requests upstream. Let's do this. Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're just setting up for a panel. This is going to be Joshua and Yev and Cameron and Yvonne. They're going to be talking about Web3 tech and the borderless future. It's the pull between the tech and governmental control over boundaries. So we're building the future here, and the law and the governments have something to say about it. Really excited for what this is going to be. So we're just going to take a minute to get set up for panel land. We'll get started, and we'll start in just 1 or 2 minutes.